the better. So I'm going to take, I don't know how long, hopefully it won't take too long, but I just want to give you an idea of what it is and why it's powerful. And I'm going to just basically tell a short story about how I got the idea of Kepler. At my school in Nanjing, China, we are starting, this year, we are starting a new form of appraisal, teacher appraisal. And traditionally, the word appraisal kind of scares teachers. It scares me. I don't like the word appraisal. Because appraisal means an administrator is going to walk in and watch you teach. And that administrator, I'm not saying that's the way it's done, but when they come in to observe you teach, they must tell you something that you're doing well, but they also have to tell you things that you need to improve upon. And that is the appraisal process. That's going to make you better. But the traditional model of appraising teachers has been found to be not very effective in many schools, because it's the idea of administrators coming in and observing you. And it makes teachers feel a little uncomfortable. You know? Any teacher, it can make you feel uncomfortable if you know you're being observed and evaluated. So let's now take the word appraisal out and evaluation, and let's instead replace it with feedback, giving feedback, okay? So at my school, we created a committee, an appraisal, a feedback committee, to create a new system of giving feedback to teachers to improve their practice. So we met all of last year. There was myself and maybe 9 other teachers. And we came up with the idea of letting teachers decide what it is. You have to identify something within your own teaching and take a very honest look at your own teaching and identify areas of weakness. And we all know what we need to get better at, right? So the idea is that or something that you really want to know more about. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a weakness, but something that you really, really are driven to know more about. We talked about you really want to know more about innovation technology. So now what's going to happen at my school next year is that the teachers will have the power to decide upon their own professional growth areas. So no longer is it the administrator coming in and saying, you must be better at teaching the learner profile, or you must be better at class management. There's still an element to that, which is important, but the idea is every single person has the power to decide upon what it is they want to improve on. Then, let's say there's 10 teachers on a staff of 90 that want to know more about innovation and technology. Then those 10 teachers will form a group, and there'll be a learning leader. And then together through the whole year, they will set professional goals related to innovation and technology. But that's one component. So you set your goal of, you want to know more about innovation and technology, but it's not just technology. It boils down to, at the most important level, student learning. So how is improving innovation and technology going to make the learning of your students better? And that's the ultimate goal. So you have to, in this process, figure out ways to measure that the learning of the students has improved because of your professional growth goal and the strategies that you are putting into place. Yeah? So using that example, you've got 10 educators studying innovation technology. They will work together for the whole year. And they can have slightly different goals, but it's all about innovation technology. Then they find the research, and they read the research, and they talk about the research, and they come up with strategies. So let's say this group right here is innovation technology. You will meet a number of times during the year to discuss your growth goals. You will read the research. You will come up with strategies, okay? Let's say your group over there, let's say you're the assessment group, okay? So now what's going to happen is you will have your goals, right? Then you are going to meet, you decide, you are going to meet with 2 other people on staff that you feel that can provide you with feedback, mentors, yeah? And then you will go to them and ask them to be a part of your journey. And then they will come in and observe you during the school year, looking specifically for ways that you are implementing your strategies in your teaching. And they will give you feedback. So no longer, it's not appraisal. You have set your own goals, and by setting your own goals, you have ownership over your learning. And this is what I do with my students, ownership over their learning. I take every moment possible to give students ownership over their own learning, letting kids decide upon their learning. Same with adults, you know. So you will become intrinsically motivated to improve that area. But there's also, you have to have a professional goal related to the school's mission statement. So there still has to be something that you're doing to improve yourself, to make to align with the school's philosophy and mission statement. So there's A and there's B. A is for the administrators, the school, important to support the mission statement of the school. Otherwise, you shouldn't be at the school. If you don't believe in the mission statement, you should go to a school that has a different mission statement. So you're supporting the school's mission statement, and then you have your own professional growth goal. So now I took the idea from that, and I created Peplic. And what Peplic is the exact same process, minus somebody coming in to observe you, because Nathan from Singapore can't come to Surat and watch you teach, or Mumbai to watch you teach. But that's not important to actually have somebody come and observe you. You're sharing your teaching. So the mission statement for Peplic is to support physical education teachers, or support physical education teachers by exposing them to evidence-based research so they may question and change their teaching and leadership practices in order to enhance the learning outcomes of their students. So this is the most important part of the journey, to enhance the learning outcomes of their students. Everything is focused on that. Okay, so it's not apps, it's not technology, it's not this, it's not that, it's student learning. The vision statement is to provide an ongoing support network for physical education teachers to grow professionally, learn from others, and contribute to a community by sharing their knowledge and experiences. So on Google Hangout, that's what you'll be doing. So that's the foundation of the program. Okay, so you've already seen the main tool of communication is Google Hangout. So Nathan has created, and you can see this later, but Nathan from Singapore has created instructional videos for all of the teachers, how to sign up on Google Hangout, how to use Google Hangout, how to stream conversations from your discussions onto YouTube. So if you go through the steps of his videos, you can teach yourself how to do it. Again, giving ownership over to you to use like Nathan is a resource. He has created resources for you. Okay, so let's see how it works. Fingers crossed. It worked. We already did it. It's done. Okay, so the 5 learning themes are assessment, instructional models, innovation technology, curriculum and programming, leadership, and mentoring. So those are the five areas that you can decide all 5. You can decide 1, you can decide 2, you can decide 3. If you decide 4, I'll give you all 5. I don't have any groups of 4. So I'll give you all 5, and then you'll probably work with that group for 2 years, maybe 3 years. But what you will do is you will go through every single one of those learning themes. Okay? So those are the 5 themes, and I came up with these 5 themes with a university professor in Australia who has helped me in pushing Peplic forward. So it's very much academically based in what they're studying in university right now, the pre-service teachers at university. With technology now, it's very different. I went to university in the 90s. Unbelievable. Everything was paper and pencil, and very different from now. So this is what they're talking about in university now. So this is the most current, up-to-date learning that's taking place in the universities. Okay? So that's what we want to provide you with. Okay, so the teams are formed, which learning themes are selected. So you decide which learning themes you want, and then it's time zone specific. So I'm going to go to our website and show you. Okay, so this is the website that we created. Nathan has been a big help in this. So Nathan, this person right here, Kelly, she's a professor from the University of Wollongong in Australia. So they helped in setting up the website. So I'll just do a little scroll down. So the names in bold are the learning leaders. So learning leader, learning leader, learning leader, and those are the teams. So you have Asia, Pacific, you have North America. Innovation technology, very popular. So we have one group, Nathan's group from Asia Pacific. We've got Blue Jay. That's his actual passport name, Blue Jay. On his passport it says Blue Jay. I always thought that was his nickname, but it's not. Where there's no bolded name, they're still deciding who wants to be learning leader. So she's a university professor with 30 years experience. She doesn't want to be a learning leader because she knows nothing about innovation technology. So she wants to just be a learner with everybody else. So if I can't find a learning leader, then I just take somebody from here or from another innovation group, and I might slide them over. Sometimes it will require changing time zones, but okay, so those, just scrolling down, those are all the different learning teams that we have. Okay, so those are the learning teams themselves. We have a Peplic blog that the learning leaders will contribute to. So there's a lot of information here. I'll give you this website later, and you can look through it. Okay. Okay, so in the project, when you commit to it, there are 4, and I don't even like the word requirements, but there are 4 phases, might be a better word, okay? There are 4 phases to this project. Okay, phase A is the first time the group meets on Google Hangout. They decide, they just have their first discussion. In phase A, they have to put that discussion on YouTube. And then that discussion will go onto the website for other learning groups to see. So it's just really the first meeting. And then phase B is to narrow the focus, to actually start to think about some of the learning goals that you have and to share those learning goals. That's the second time. So even though the group might meet 10 times, the second, they decide the second time they want it to be on YouTube. And when it's on YouTube, it's official. They've completed phase 2. Phase 3, or C, they come back and they say what's working, what's not. So you set goals for yourself. This is working, this is not. Your group listens to you and says, well, maybe you want to try this, maybe you want to read this, and then your strategies might change a little bit. And then you take that into the final phase, which is a project where the group must create a final presentation. So the group of, say your innovation tech group, will then meet on Google Hangout many times, and you will come up with an idea on presenting what you've learned. Now this is after 6 months or a year though. So you imagine the learning that has taken place. And then you will present that on YouTube, and then that final project will go onto the website and be a teaching resource for all the other teachers on Peplic and teachers not on Peplic. And just because that's finished doesn't mean it's done. You can then join another group and continue on with other goals. Okay? So that's last thing I'm going to show you. We won't watch all of it, of course, but just to give you an idea of what it looks like, this is a group of learning leaders.
PLC Learning Leaders 1.0. We're ready to go live on air. We've got 5 learning leaders from across North America getting ready to kick off our PLC. Talk about all things learning leaders and all things just PLC. It should be a great discussion tonight. We've got a great crew, and I feel honored to be virtually sitting in a room with these great educators, and looking forward to learning a ton from them. So we're going to start it off today with just some introductions. I'm going to let Joe Bailey kick it off.
Just going to show you the introduction.
Hi, I'm Joe Bailey. My Twitter username is @LaFayette. I've got my British flag up there, so that's where the accent comes from, but I'm actually in the US. I teach at UC Everest Senior High School in Warsaw, Wisconsin. We are a 10 through 12 school. I'm in my 16th year, I've just finished up 16 years of teaching, and I have 3 learning themes within my group. Assessment and instructional models, and the other one's gone off the top of my head, so I'll come back to it.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah.
My name is Joe McCarthy. I teach at Meadowview Elementary in Farmington, Minnesota. We are a K-5 school. My Twitter handle is @JoeMcCarthy09, and I am the team leader for instructional technology and assessment.
All right. Thank you, Joe. I'm Matt Pomeroy. My Twitter username is @physed_Pomeroy. I'm from the USA. I teach at Merton Intermediate School, which is a suburb of Milwaukee. I teach 7th and 8th grade, physical education and health. This is going into my 10th year teaching. The learning themes I'm a part of is curriculum and instruction, technology, and assessment. Pass it over to Naomi.
My name is Naomi Hurdle, @MissHurdle on Twitter. I'm from Canada, Saskatchewan, Canada. I teach at Star City School, and we're a K-12 school, just a little elementary school with about 100 students in it. I basically teach grades 3 to grade 12 I do some phys ed, some health, and some math. I'm going into my 3rd year of teaching. My learning themes are assessment and innovation and technology. I think I got everything.
Very nice. Thank you, Naomi.
I'm Patty Castell. My Twitter username is @PK_LB2
She was the teacher of the year last year
Love to teach
the
PE.
United States.
I'm from the US, and I teach at Person Elementary. This is going to be my 24th year of teaching, and I have all 5 learning groups that my group will be doing. So I have Team 1 from North America.